Hey there, fifth graders. Today's video, we're going to be taking a look at kind of how grades work and how percentages play big time into the grades you'll be getting in middle school and high school. Over here on the right here, I kind of have a grading scale. This is kind of your typical grading scale. Now, teachers may change this a little bit in terms of what their percentages are, but typically, if you get a percentage of your score to be between a 93 and 100, you would get an A. If your percentage on your grade or on your test was in between 80 and 82%, typically that's a B minus. So you're going to kind of look at some of how these percentages match up with some of the grades you will be getting. This third column over here is your GPA, which is kind of another topic. We're just going to kind of avoid that for now or talk about that later. We're going to be focusing on these two columns and how percentages play into this. So when you're in middle school or in high school, and you get let's say you took a science test. So our example today is you took this science test. There were 40 problems total. You got 32 problems correct. So 32 out of the 40 you got right. So whenever we figure out a grade, we want to turn, like we've been working with percentages, we want to turn this into a fraction. Fractions and percentages work really well together. Okay? When we deal with a fraction, we always know that the bottom number is your total parts. Well, we had 40 possible points. So 40 is going to go here on the bottom. Okay, now we got 32 problems correct. So we're going to make this into a fraction where we put 32 as the numerator. We got 32 out of 40. When I work with percentages and fractions, I always kind of use that fraction as an out of. So 32 out of 40. Okay, we also can kind of think of this as a division sign. So to figure out our percent, we're going to take 32 divided by 40. All right, so I'm going to go to my calculator because it's a tool we can use. 32 divided by 40. All right, and I get 0.8. All right, so I get 0.8. But as we know with percentages, we're not done when we get that decimal. Because if I had 0.8%, that would be, almost nothing right. That would be a very, very bad F. And it doesn't make sense because I got 32 out of the 40 right. So that doesn't scream to me that I didn't know it at all. All right. But remember, what we have to do is anytime we have a decimal and we're working with percentages, we take that decimal and we move it 2 spots. So I'm going to move it 1. I'm going to move it 2. I see that I have this blank spot here. I'm going to fill it in with a 0. And if that decimal moved over here, I would have 0, 8, 0, which we know we can get rid of the 0 on the front of it. And we know that we have 80%. So on that test, I got 80% of my problems correct. So if I look on the scale, 80% would get me a B minus. So on this test, the grade that my teacher would probably put on the top would be a B minus. Okay, so that's how that works a little bit. Let's look at one other situation. All right, so let's say we did an art project, and this one was a point. So you could get 15 points on that art project. And when I got my sheet back, or when I got my score back, I got 12 out of 15. So once again, I'm going to make that into a fraction. All right, I got 12 correct. That's my part out of 15. That's our total. All right, 12 out of 15. So to find my decimal number, I need to take 12 divided by 15. So let's go back to our calculator. 12 divided by 15 gets me, oh, look at that, 8 again. All right, 8 again. I did not plan that. All right, I got 0.08. I am going to move that 2 spots, giving me 80% again, which would give me a B minus again. All right, so let's go back here. Let's say instead of 12, because we came up with 80 again, let's say instead of 12, I got 14 correct. All right, I'll make a little change so we can see a little difference. So I had 14 out of 15 was my score. All right, so I set it up like that. I got 14 out of a total of 15. Go to my calculator. 14 out of 15 gets me 9.333333, kind of repeating. Or is it 0.9333333? It's going to kind of repeat. If I move that 2 spots, my percentage that I would get would be 93.3, and that will repeat forever. 93.3%. If I look at my grading scale, a 93% would falls me into that A category. So I would get an A on that. Yay me, I did a great job. All right, so that's kind of how grades work. And in today's lesson, you're gonna have a few problems kind of working through some of these situations. All right.